Hello, my name is Councillor Sue Fenimore and I'm the Deputy Leader of Hammersmith and Fulham Council. I'm delighted to be able to talk to you about the Nothing About Disabled People Without Disabled People report, which was published in June 2018. It sets out the clear case for co-producing policies and services with disabled residents to address the many barriers disabled people experience and to deliver on our vision of Hammersmith and Fulham being the most inclusive and the most accessible borough in the country. As a council, we are fully committed to co-production with disabled residents. Co-production means disabled people and decision makers working in partnership. We're working together to plan, design and review policy and services that affect disabled residents' lives to remove the barriers they face. As well as co-production, the Council is also committed to taking the social model of disability approach. People with impairments are disabled by the barriers they face in society. And so we focus on removing these barriers, recognising that people are disabled by physical, attitudinal, economic and environmental barriers in society. Therefore, the focus should undoubtedly be on removing those barriers. In December 2015, on the International Day of Disabled People, Hammersmith and Fulham Council agreed to work together with disabled residents. We took the opportunity to set up what we believe was the first local Disabled People's Commission in the country. The Commission worked together to build the culture that values, respects and delivers equal rights for disabled people living in Hammersmith and Fulham. All 10 of the Disabled People's Commissioners live in Hammersmith and Fulham and are disabled people who have faced many different barriers in their daily lives, an invaluable insight into the lived experience of disabled people. They all gave their time for free and their considerable commitment is testament to the success of the Commission. In this video, we will summarise the work of the Disabled People's Commission, the report findings and recommendations, and what we're doing to implement them.
Hello, my name's Tara Flood. I'm a disabled resident of Hammersmith and Fulham. I also chaired the Disabled People's Commission, which has been groundbreaking in terms of the work that we did and our vision. The publication of the Nothing About Disabled People Without Disabled People report in June 2018 has signalled a shift in culture and practice in Hammersmith and Fulham. I'm going to take you through the work of the Disabled People's Commission, its key findings and recommendations. In stage 1, we looked at research and examples of co-production. And in stage 2, we ran surveys to find out what disabled people in Hammersmith and Fulham thought. We also did surveys of councillors and council staff. In stage 3, we ran meetings and events to get information about disabled people's experiences of decision-making and co-production in the borough. And then in stage 4, we used all of that information to write a report with our findings and recommendations, at the same time as working towards a co-production way of working for all policy that affects disabled people. There are 3 areas that we think needed to be looked at first. For independent living, we think that the council should co-produce an independent living strategy with disabled people. That strategy should be for disabled people of all ages. There should be a new Preparing for Adulthood team that brings together children's services and adult social care. This work should be co-produced with young disabled people as well as their families. This work should also be part of an independent living strategy. On housing, the council has already started on better housing for disabled people. A disabled people's housing strategy has been co-produced and the implementation work is underway. And then the development of Hammersmith Town Hall and the surrounding area as a civic campus. This work is already being co-produced with disabled people to make sure that it has the highest levels of inclusive design. This means making sure that the space will be accessible to all residents. The key findings from the report are firstly that many local disabled people have said that their quality of life has gone down and that they are keen to work with the council to change this. Secondly, a number of disabled people have felt excluded from local decision making. And then thirdly, it is clear that councillors and staff want to work better with disabled residents. There are 8 recommendations in the Nothing About Disabled People Without Disabled People report. The first recommendation states that the council should use a human rights way of working. This means working in a way that enables and informs people about their human rights and how to use them. The second recommendation states that there needs to be a commitment to embedding co-production across all council departments with an action plan to make sure this happens. The third recommendation states that council staff and disabled residents need training and support to be ready to co-produce changes in policies and services. The fourth recommendation states that there needs to be a communication plan that sets out how we tell people about co-production and how they can be involved. The fifth recommendation states that local services need to be run in a way that local disabled people need them to, and that a service quality framework is created to help this happen. The sixth recommendation states that funding needs to be identified to ensure co-production with disabled residents can happen. The seventh recommendation states that for successful co-production to happen with disabled residents, it's vital to support local disabled people's organisations to be stronger and to be better resourced. The last and eighth recommendation highlights the need for progress towards the implementation of co-production with disabled residents to be monitored and evaluated. This is to check how it's going and to make any necessary changes where needed.
Disabled residents know best about the services they want and need. That's why we're working with disabled residents to implement the recommendations from this report. We've set up a co-production implementation group, which includes disabled residents, councillors, and senior officers working together. This will provide the leadership to make co-production work and support its development across the borough and the work of the council. Thank you.